third installment of the highly popular South African story Spud has arrived, and despite the cold weather, Johannesburg residents turned up in their droves to attend the launch of Spud Learning to Fly at Melrose Arch. Spud tells the hilarious and tumultuous story of Spud Milton's high school adventures and experiences at an elite private boarding school. As author John van der Reet says, there are a lot of exciting twists and tales in this story.
One thing that is quite a big change from the other two books is in Spud 3, or Learning to Fly, I take Spud and certain members of the Crazy Eight into a girls' boarding school for an entire term. Now, Berg tells them all that it's going to be orgies, sex, lesbianism, all the rest. It's not quite like that, I'm afraid, for those of you with a more carnal bent. There's many things when you read Spud 3 you'll see are perhaps not totally resolved because they're going to carry over to Spud 4. And many of the notes that I made for Spud 3, many of the things I left out of Spud 3 are going to go into the next book. So for the first time ever, I've got a very good idea of where I'm going next and how this whole thing's going to end. And I'm asking you not to beg me after Spud 4 to write another book, because that will be it. Because I'm determined to leave it there and to go and write other things and hopefully challenge myself elsewhere.
Van der Reet also gave his VIP guests a little taster of what to expect in this, the third offering of Spud.
Mr. Owen has put me in charge of keeping things orderly, announced Penny. She then rolled her eyes at her friend as if I was a complete moron. Brenda has a dark complexion with brown eyes and hair and a rather sweet round button nose. She grinned at me impishly and said, "We already know who you are." "Really?" I asked as I switched on the kettle and tried to play things cool. "Is Rainman here?" asked Penny, and then immediately covered her mouth as if she had just blown an important state secret. "I mean Vern," she said, and blushed. "He's in there," I said, and pointed towards our room. The girls peered into the room as if a large python may just explode through the doorway. They couldn't see Vern properly because he was sleeping under a huge pile of pillows with his face pressed into the mattress. "You're Spud," said Penny without too much enthusiasm. Then there was a brief pause before she asked, "Why are you called Spud?" "Don't ask," I mumbled, and stirred away my coffee in a rugged fashion. "Is it to do with a potato or something?" continued Brenda, clearly not picking up my definite back-off vibe. "No," I answered. Then the other bedroom door creaked open, and Bogo stumbled out wearing only a pair of white scats. Unfortunately for him, his eyes were still fastened shut with sleep, so he didn't see the girls. The sight of Bogo's morning glory is so commonplace back at school that nobody even teases him about it. The girls, however, screamed in terror and charged out of the common room. Bogo shouted in fright and desperately attempted to cover his groin with one hand whilst hurling himself backwards into the bedroom and slamming the door behind him, cackling laughter from inside the bedroom.
The author made it his goal to sign each and every copy that he sold at the launch. So in order to numb the chilly breeze, he called on rockers Vonderboot to keep the mood up. Spud Learning to Fly is on sale now.